name is Trevor, and this is Andrew Wellwood, the founder of QualityConnect. And today we're going to be talking about budgeting, cost to build, and what it will cost. I have a quick quote here. I'm not sure who said it, but it says, "If you don't tell your money where to go, it'll go somewhere." Now, builders in the city of Edmonton broke ground on a total of 1,616 housing units, Q1 of 2019. So that's a lot of houses.
That's great. Yeah, that shows the industry is turning around, and yeah,
that's a good sign.
that's a great sign.
So let's talk about this budgeting thing. What has been your experience in the past with budgeting and dealing with customers and building?
It's hugely important. Like budgeting, well, it's a lot of money. You're building a house. You're looking at around $500,000 probably for your build. You can't just wing it. Or I've seen people do it, but you shouldn't just wing it. You should know what it's going to cost you to build this. The bank's going to want to know usually. Like if you're doing this for yourself, you're going to want to know what your mortgage is and if you're going to qualify. If you're building it as a spec to sell, you're going to need to know that you can build it less than what you can sell it for.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So that you can make a profit. If you're building it for a client, you better be able to build it on budget.
I had to sneeze. Oh my gosh. Of course. Okay. Well, we'll take it from the top again, I guess.
All right.
Hey, and welcome back to the Quality Connect YouTube channel. My name is Trevor. This is Andrew, the founder of Quality Connect. And today we're going to be talking about budgeting. What is the cost to build, and what's it going to cost you if you don't? Now, here's a quick quote. I'm not sure who said it, but it goes like this: "If you don't tell your money where to go, it'll go somewhere."
Yeah.
Quick stat from the city of Edmonton. Builders in the city broke ground on a total of 1,616 housing units, Q1 of 2019. And we're just finishing that up right now.
Yeah, that's great. That's great news.
Absolutely. So tell us quickly a little bit about budgeting and what your experience has been in the past.
Budgeting is one of the most important things for building. You need to know if you can build your house on a budget. If you're building it for yourself, can you handle that mortgage? Is it worthwhile? Are you building it as a spec? Can you build it on budget and make a profit when you sell it?
Right.
If you're contracted out to build a house for a certain price, you better be able to build it on that budget, because if you're looking to be over a bunch, there's going to be a lot of problems.
Yeah, going to be some angry people.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Okay, so first question that I think people should ask is, budgeting is obviously important, but how accurate can you be at the planning stage? Extremely accurate.
Very few things should change once you start commencing production.
Okay.
As long as you're not changing the scope of work and you're changing the blueprint as you go, then you should be very accurate. So you're going to have a few things, excavator digs a little deep and you got to use a little bit more concrete, that's going to add up. Trucking charge, if you have to truck the dirt out, if they were planning to go to one spot, now they've got to go a little bit farther, they're going to, your cost for trucking dirt is going to be a little bit more. Building in the winter and your heating, that's a nasty bill. That's going to cost you a lot more. If you have to heat the ground, heat the concrete, thaw out your garage or your basement before you pour. Yeah. But other than that, like shingles are shingles, drywall's drywall, flooring's flooring. Certain things will go up and down. Lumber prices are very volatile. They'll go up and down a little bit. Concrete costs will go up and down a little bit. But other than that, no, it should not change much. You should be able to be very accurate at the planning stage.
All right. So now, what is the average cost per square foot to build a home?
That's like asking, what's the average cost to buy a car per square foot? I can tell you, when I've driven in the past, it's not the same cost per square foot as what some people downtown here drive in cost per square foot for a car. It's a horrible way to estimate. It's a good way to give you a ballpark.
Okay.
Like if you're looking for an introductory home, and not counting land cost, you should be able to be around $120 a square foot. That's That's a low end. And a high end, I've heard of people budgeting $110 a square foot for art in their house. So yeah, you can budget anything for a house. Like you can have, the sky's the limit for certain projects. I've seen people spend more on windows than people spent on building.
Oh my.
So that's the low end. You know, if you're going to build a bungalow, your cost per square foot is going to be greater than a 2-story because you have a greater footprint in the ground, which means more concrete.
Yeah.
Larger roof, obviously, with a bigger footprint. So more for your roof trusses, more for your shingles, everything like that. And adding square footage does not go linear. Like if you're making a bedroom bigger, yeah, it's not that much more. You've got a little bit for framing. You know, you're adding carpets.
Yeah.
That's about it. If you're adding, you know, square footage wise, then you're adding, you know, shingles and siding and everything like that. That cost is not that much. You're adding square footage in a kitchen. That's expensive because you're adding cabinets, you're adding countertops, you know,
right.
tile, stuff like that. Like the cost to add per square foot in a kitchen is way more than the cost to add per square foot for a regular house. And then certain houses are going to be more per square foot than other ones. Like a duplex, you know, you have 2 furnaces, you have 2 kitchens,
right.
you have 2 bathrooms on the main floor, you know, you have 2 bathrooms on the second floor. Like you're packing a lot more of the expensive stuff into a smaller area, so your cost per square foot is going to be higher than if you're building a single family, you know, 2,000 square foot house with a lot of big bedrooms that are just filled with carpet.
So what I'm hearing is budgeting per square foot is not really the most accurate way to do a budget.
Yeah, it's ballparking per square foot is a better way. But anyone that says they can accurately estimate per square foot is out to lunch. Same thing with framing. Framing can go from $5 a square foot to $25 a square foot for cost to frame a house.
A lot of different factors involved, and it takes experience knowing what you should be looking at and doing all these things at the beginning of the job as opposed to just taking a wild guess at it.
Yeah.
Now, so tell me, Andrew, how does Quality Connect help you with budgeting?
Well, that's what we're there for. We're there to get you to an accurate price with quality trades as fast and as easy as possible. We've got great people on there that do the blueprints. You know, I'm working with Draw Design right now. We'll get that print off. We can get a quote from them right from the start. From their blueprint, we can get everything quoted accurately and with reliable quality trades and multiple quotes. So when you go to the bank, you can say, look, these are all the quotes we've got. So they're all, you know, relatively in line with each other. There's no, you know, one-offs that are way more or way less than someone else because reputable companies are competitive. They all have to pay the government. They've all got their insurance costs.
Yeah.
So they all have to work that into the price.
Excellent. So do you have anything that you can offer to help first-time builders?
Anything that posted on Quality Connect. If you're not sure, if you need to hire a trade, select them anyways. It's better to have them look at the quote and say, you know what, we don't really work in this scenario, but if you do need this, and this, we're here to help. And a lot of people just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So we've had people say, you know what, I'm just adding the second floor deck. All I need is a decking company. You're like, well, is it a covered deck? Yes. Well, you're going to need a framer. You're going to need a roofer because you're going to add the shingles on that. You want a light switch out there, some lights? Oh yeah. You know, then you're going to need an electrician. So, you know, send the projects out to everyone. That's what we're there for. And the wonderful thing with having such great trades on our site is that they work with the customer. So they'll reply back and say, I got your print. You know, we'd love to work with you. We've just got a bunch of questions before we can give you an accurate quote. You know, do you want pot lights? You know, do you not want pot lights? What kind of fixtures do you want us to supply? Fixtures. You know, electricians will have questions like that. Flooring too. They'll say, you know what? It said carpet on the second floor and hardwood on the main. You know, are we doing 3/4 inch hardwood? Are we doing engineered hardwood? You know, what do you want? Doesn't say what you want in bathrooms. You know, that's what they're there for. They're there to work with you to help you get an accurate budget, because you don't want to build your dream home and then come down at the end and find out you have to put lino from China throughout your entire dream home kitchen because you didn't budget it properly. You want to be going down to Action Flooring or Ashley Fine Floors and picking out your dream hardwood because you budgeted it in there.
Yeah.
So.
And you knew from the start, right? So that's why using Quality Connect is a good idea, even for a renovation or a small addition or something. Yeah. Because all the trades are there. They like working on full homes, and they also like working on smaller projects, and they know what to do, and they know the questions to ask. They're
experts in their field for a reason. I'd love to say I'm an expert in everything, but I'm not. That's why I work with this group of trades. It's because if I have a roofing question, I'll call my roofer up. This is a low slope roof. What kind of vent do I put on here? What kind of vent are you going to put on? The customer is concerned about getting snow in their attic.
Right.
And they're there to help out.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, can having materials discontinued in building code changes have a major impact on the budget?
Not so much the budget, but more as in time. Building code changes, luckily the city usually allows you, once you have your building permit, you could go through with the construction, like they're changing the length of the treads right now for stairs, which is going to be a lot of fun for the bigger builders, because some of them are going to have to do some major changes to their specs.
Right.
They've built this house 500 times this way, and now you add a little bit to the treads, which means you're going to lose a little bit for headroom, lose a little bit at the bottom of the stairs, the start of the stairs, so that'll affect more of a concern for them. If you haven't built your house 400 times, it's not a problem for you. But no, if you've got your building permit, they'll usually, they usually give you a notice saying, any building permits pulled after April 1st will require these new changes, and a lot of them aren't major. Having materials discontinued is more of a nuisance than a budget concern.
Okay.
You're not going to need it for anything structural. They're not going to start discontinuing 2x6s on you or anything like that. If they do, we're going to have a huge problem. If they discontinue your flooring or they don't carry your countertop anymore, you're going to have to source it somewhere else. The wonderful thing with getting stuff quoted at the start is a lot of them will hold their price for 30 days, or they will let you know. A lot of them you'll have to go down and you'll have to select this stuff ahead of time. And working with bigger companies, like you go into Action Flooring or Ashley Fine Floors, they don't carry just one piece of hardwood. They've got tons. If you had your heart set on one out of Germany and for some factory burned down and they're not getting any more, you know what? They have some coming out of Quebec. They have other sources coming out of different locations. You might not be able to find that exact one, but you'll be able to find something in your budget looking very similar. So more of a nuisance than a budget killer.
Right. So last question: are budgeting and cash flow the same thing?
No.
What do you mean?
Not in building, not in business, not in life, nothing. No. And I've been lectured by my accountant multiple times on budgeting and cash flow is not the same. I read it in accounting textbooks and learn it the hard way a few times. Budgeting is how much it's going to cost you to build. Cash flow is what you need to get to the next stage for a drop. You cannot build a house off of what the bank gives you to build the house.
Right.
Just unless you know of a bank that I've never heard of, they do not operate that way. You get to stage one, they give you money for stage one. You get to stage two, they give you money for stage two, which means you have to get to that stage to get the money. And you can't use that money to get to the next stage because you need to use it for different ones. And different stages cost you different amounts.
Right.
You have to pay for the cabinets long before you install the cabinets, which means you have to pay for the cabinets long before the bank gives you money for the cabinets.
Yeah, because they're not going to give you money for cabinets until after cabinets are installed. Yeah.
Same thing with windows. The window company wants you to pay for the windows in advance before they deliver the windows. They'll reimburse you for the windows at lockup, but you're paying for the windows well in advance of breaking ground. So
there's things you got to keep in mind.
Cash flow is huge. Good banks, I work with ATB, and they're really big on, do you have enough cash to make it through all the different stages? And yes, they're hard, yes, they're picky, but they also boast of not having any jobs stall out or miss their completion deadline, which really is what everybody wants. Nobody wants a job stalled out from lack of cash flow. It doesn't help the bank, it doesn't help the builder, it doesn't help the industry, it doesn't help the consumer. It definitely doesn't help the build. Having a house sit in the weather and the elements for a certain period of time is not a good thing.
No, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Well, thanks, Andrew. That was very, very good, very informative. And I know a lot of people will get a lot of knowledge from that. So if you guys liked what you heard, give us a thumbs up, say you liked it, leave some comments down below so we know what you want to hear from us in the future, any other topics, because we want to really help people become better builders, so we're putting out better products and really promoting the Quality Connect brand, which is helping small builders connect with the right trades. So that's all from us this time. We'll catch you guys on the next one.